Welcome to the Space and Rocket Review. Snarfer! Starting the Space and Rocket Review in the YouTube chat with 10 gifted memberships. What's going on, everybody? You in the hat. You two girls. Tell your friends. All right. So, let's see what's going on, everybody. And it's ladies' night here at the Palace Hotel Ballroom. What was the name of that band? That was a Suno-driven song, Matt Strat. It's called Accordion Inferno. Here. Anyway, Snarper, thank you for the memberships over on the YouTube side of things. How's everybody doing? If you were watching the streams today, you know that EJ's having another bad day. EJ's having another bad day. Today I flushed about 40 to 50 hours of permadeath My Summer Car playthrough down the toilet. So, you know, that's good. It's mostly because I'm an idiot. Gotta die at MSC sooner or later. It was good content while it lasted. What is that? What? Starford gifted 10 more. Rip Mr. Sticky Dick in my balls. We're not going to talk about what happened. Oh, God. Oh, boy. I wish YouTube would allow you to gift specific folks. Yeah, you could do that on Twitch. Stationeers after today. After space news? Yeah. It depends on if the server is operable. I think we just need to update the server. Let me look into it. Was it at least something new that you died to? Yeah. Starford gifted 20 memberships. Wait a minute. Starford, what? What's all the love for, dude? I died in summer car. I should not be rewarded for this. Jeez. MSC after hours rebuild. I'll think about it, man. But server is operable. Limit. Oh, dudes. If you're not doing anything tonight, I cordially invite you to come stress test Stationeers with me. We recently got the Stationeers server limits up to 64 people. But still good content, especially that train clip. We used up all of our luck, Jim. That's what happened. We ran out of luck. We ran out of luck. Oh boy. All right. Well, Snarfer gifted 40 subs total, over 40 memberships over there. Thank you very much. Welcome to the flight controllers, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, let's abuse Stationeers to make up for summer car being poo poo doo doo caca poo poo face. Good news is that summer car is working, and then the racing rig and everything works. So more crew corridors. I think we might need more. Yeah, I used up all my luck. Vance is acting weird. You were so close to entering the rally. Talk about it, man. I don't want to talk about it. I'm pissed. It's just should have built a bigger hope chest. Yep. Hey, but there's what's going on. Guess the Stationeers, there's no cars to walk in front of, so there's that. Can you not? Can you not right now? Like, just please not. Just, all right, anyway. All right, so let's start off with some pretty cool news here. Let's go right here. So, the FAA released their final environmental assessment on SpaceX Falcon 9 operations at Space Launch Complex 40. SpaceX has gotten approval, amongst other things, for more launches down at the Cape, particularly out of Snarfer gifted 10 more. Okay. 10 more Membies. We got Membies for days. Thank you. Give you money, we can beat on you. What? Choose better words next time, please. I understand what you're saying, but yeah. It's better than talking about what you're going to in space chat. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's get to the good stuff. Get to the good stuff. Where's the yeah. There's the good stuff. SpaceX has gotten approval in this assessment here to build a landing pad. on the northeast side of the pad complex. The launch pad is basically right where my mouse cursor is. So launch and landing operations right next to each other, dude. Shut up and let them love you. Dude, I'm not even sure. I think Snarfer has gifted more memberships over there than there are people in my chat. Concrete pad, ground support equipment, crane storage, the pedestal, maintain area, nitrogen line. Interesting. Oh my word. Oh. Oh, please do that. Please do that. Please do that. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, dude, that one's even cooler. Look at that. Oh, right on the beach. I like this one. I like this one better because there's traffic, that space traffic that goes up and down that road. I think SpaceX will opt for this one. Oh, that's oh. Oh, there's a bunch of different concepts here. You know what? I don't hate that one either. That one's pretty good. It's right next to the hip. You could just land the vehicle and just roll it right back in and put another second stage on it. I have to study now for a physics exam. All right, Ben. That one's pretty good, though. But I like that one. How do they move second stages? They're just on a truck. It's just on a flatbed. It's just a lowboy trailer with a bracket on it to hold the second stage. Oh, that's all it's doing, Seacracken. There's just two brackets that look like this. It just holds it up. There's nothing to bolt to. Think about it. The second stage at the top has the payload attachment fitting in the fairing. That's the bolt point to the top of the second stage. The bottom of the second stage, it's the inner stage. If you're transporting this thing horizontally, it just hold it in place and strap it down. That's it. That's all they do. That's all that's needed. Doesn't need more. Any other cool pictures in here? Sonic booms, sound propagation. Okay, cool. Well, that's pretty neat, dude. No matter what, I mean, all those setups are pretty cool. That certainly does explain why they let the lease expire on LC-13 or LZ-1 and LZ-2. Would two landing pads at 40 mean they would launch Falcon Heavy from 39 and land at 40? I'm pretty sure that's what that means, Ethan. Yes. Congrats on 4,200 subscribers. Oh, thanks, Rarest. Cool. How long do you think Falcon and Starship operations will overlap? At least a decade. Falcon's going to be flying well into the 2030s. Right now on the books, yeah, 2030s. Yeah, Falcon ain't going nowhere for a good while, dude. Are there any interesting tables in there? No. No. Anyway, that's pretty neat. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Looking around. Dude, it's funny because there's a lot of space accounts that I follow on X, right? And yeah, it seems like people were not. People were also pretty annoyed from yesterday's Senate confirmation meeting, pretty much for the same reasons that we were, which is yeah, that's pretty good. Anyway, feeling better? I'll be all right. Okay. Anyway, let's focus on some good news. SpaceX did post some pictures from Flight 10 here, which are just amazing pictures. Yeah, so the tiles came out there. Is Duffy's address even worth watching? I don't know. I'm actually curious to kind of go see it. I thought there was a new regulation that returning boosters had to land at the same complex that they launched from. Never heard that, diabetic kid. I did some looking, and my YouTube account is from before Google buyout. It makes me ineligible for a gifted membership. Jeez. Oh, yeah, that's why you started drinking last night. Jeez. Does anybody have Sean? You know what? Hold on. I don't know, T-Man. It's a lot. Flight time is excellent. Can't wait for future test. Dude, there are road closures in line, Paul, for a booster static fire. At least that's what it looks like. Soon. So they're gonna hit that booster first. They're gonna do the test, and then they're gonna refit it for ships. Refit it for the ship. Fire 38, and then go. Yeah. So what that means in short is that Flight 11 is happening sooner rather than later. 15.2 is the suspect. Yeah, that's what I thought. Would have made more sense to test 38 while the OLM was still modded. That's what my idea was, Hellfish, because if you do that, then you can just do 2 flights back to back. That way you only need to reconfigure pad A once. I'm not sure why they would do that this way. Unless they're just going to send ship 38 in September, you think? Jay, my guess is October. I would probably put my money down on second week of October at this point in time. Keep in mind that that's as of September 4th, 2025. That is very subject to change. SpaceX's entire schedule is in flux. So what do they use for the solder? What do you mean? Maybe they wanted to static fire only after whatever mods they found out they needed to make after getting the flight test data. I mean, Bill, I'm putting the booster out. Like, dude, they'll probably. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing in my mind. Why test the booster first? Why would you do that? Why test that first? I can't prove it. I'm wondering. So my timeline, second week of October, is taking into account that they'd have to refit the pad for a ship. But if they were going to do that, you would want to do that like now. And that way, you're only stacking the booster once, right? So think about it like this. You refit pad A, right? You refit pad A for ship 38. Put ship 38 on the pad. Fire it, okay? Take that off. Bring the booster out. put the booster on the pad, fire it. If it's good to go, all you got to do is stack a ship. That's it. Done. Right? Right? That smooths your operations completely. But they're going to do the booster first. Dude, I'm almost wondering if they just send Ship 38. You know, like, the more I think about that, that might be a thing, dude. If that's the case, dude, if they just send Ship 38 without any static fire, I'm thinking, like, 4th week of September is definitely on the table. You think they're going to send it, goalie? Thanks for doing the stream today, man. I had to put down my 18-year-old dog a couple hours ago. I needed a distraction with some good vibes. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry, Cody. 18 years. That's a good run, though. That's a real good run, dude. It's a real good run, but yeah, my first dog that I had when I was just a wee lad lasted 10. And yeah, you never really forget them, dude. That's why, like, so my dog's Titan is sick right now. He's got heartworms, right? And I'm not trying to make this about me, dude, but I'm saying I can empathize. Even heartworms is very treatable. He'll be fine. It's still those thoughts are coming back, man, and it's so freaking difficult, dude. After my first dog passed away, I didn't get another dog until Titan. My first dog passed away basically right when I started streaming. About 2013, March 2013. So, yeah, it took me until 2024. It took 11 freaking years before I was ready for another dog, dude. So I hear you. The point that, Cody, the reason why why I'm saying all this is that, you know, you remember them, dude. And it hurts when they leave. It really hurts. Go to old Kashmir. You remember his name. Oh. Oh, man. He definitely had a good run and a great life. I'm sure you were all that dog could ever ask for, man. I'm sure. Hey, Taybal. What is this stream about? You just logged in. This is a STEM stream. This particularly, I'm EJ, and I play video games, and I teach people about space and science. A little bit of a space nut. I don't know if you could tell. I try to play video games so that I can use to teach people about things. But I'm obviously not playing games right now, Tay. What you stumbled upon is the space news segment of my stream. I usually stream for a pretty long period during the day. So I have multiple shows on my channel. Like, we have gaming, and then we have space news, and then we have more gaming, and then maybe, I don't know, something else. With space news, we talk about what's going on, the Space and Rocket Revue. We talk about what's going on in the aerospace industry. And I use it as an opportunity to teach people about rockets and how they work and what they're doing and where we are as in the state of the industry, so to speak. What data could they get from not static firing the ship? Readiness data about how good McGregor's testing is, maybe? You play games to teach people to look both ways before crossing the road. Can you give me like a 1-day reprieve from that spoiled? Can you give me like a 1-day? I'll ask you for a 1-day review. You can give me crap about it tomorrow. Can you please? That one really pissed me off. Just, I need a day to grieve that save. Oh, I need a day. That's a general PSA. Please don't give me crap about Summer Car today, please. Tomorrow, dish it on as much as you want. I need a day to just not think about it. Oh God. More than the bees. This one was worse. This one was worse. Tomorrow the assault will be relentless. It'll be just like every other frigging day. I hope Titan makes a full recovery as fast as he can. Heartworms are a bugger, but at least they're treatable. Yeah, Cody. Yeah. But hey, my heart goes out to you, dude. That's not fun. It's not fun. It sucks. But I don't know, man. Like, take some solace in the fact that, like, my first dog, Kashmir, he's a boxer. He's a purebred boxer. Awesome dog. Amazing. Yeah, I love that dog so freaking much, dude. I still think about him. You know, Titan reminds me of him. You know, and that does make me happy. But yeah, you know, you'll keep them in your thoughts for a long time, dude. They stay with you, so the love is still there. You know what I'm saying? Trey, what's up, man? I've been invited by a professor to go sit on an astrodynamics GNC and rendezvous proximity operations docking. So I'm going to learn that over the next few days. All right. Guidance, navigation, control, and rendezvous operations. That's cool, man. Is it bad if I was mad about what happened in that stream? It is what it is, dude. Tay, I love the content, by the way. Oh. Well, thank you, Tay. I wasn't sure... So, Tay, something interesting. So, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. People gift so many freaking subs in this damn stream. Like, there was a time where if I saw a viewer with a sub badge next to them, I'd be like, okay, they know who I am. But so many subs get gifted out because this community is so freaking good to me, even though I'm a complete prick back, and I don't know why you guys like me, but, like... I don't know, like, sometimes you get newer viewers with sub badges, you know? So that's why I gave the spiel, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, I'm a Prime sub. All right. Good point, EJ. Unsubbing. You make a good point, people leave. Just popping in to say you look great today. Thanks, Ike. Ethan gifted a sub to Rick. I gave you my Jeff money. Oh, I appreciate that. I'm flattered. We like you because you're real over in the YouTube chat. I wear my heart on my sleeve when I stream. I really do. You know. I sometimes let my temper go on stream on purpose. Like I'm usually pretty mild-mannered. I'm pretty good at not freaking out about things, right? But sometimes I let it go because, dude, like throwing my headset at the table. We've all been there. Anybody that plays games has been there. You know that. Anybody that plays games has been there. We've been there, done that. Just had a moment where you're just like, I get up and walk away. You know, everybody's been there, right? I do that because, well, that happens to me too. Like, oh, it happens. That's real. That's how this rolls. Like, it's not sunshine and rainbows all the time. Life doesn't work that way. I try to show you the good and the bad. The stream can't just be all awesome, grade A, 5-star entertainment the whole time. Sometimes it's not. And I prefer that way, you know? Because if it was just happy-go-lucky EJ all the time, like, that cheapens all the good moments that we have on stream. I don't know. Maybe, or I just don't know. Or I just have no idea what I'm doing, like. Could be that too. Any recent news on the Blue Moon Mark II lander? Nothing, Odin. Everyone does a total wolf at some point. Well said, sir. No, Mikey, no, this is so not right. Valtteri, I need you to surrender the position to Lewis. I need you to surrender. It's good for the team. Valtteri, come on, do what's good for the team, Valtteri. Valtteri, you have to do what's good for the team. Oh, you're fired, by the way. Total Wolf, 2022, probably. Are you going to spend tomorrow getting ready for next week mission mode in KSP? Give me some time to get mission mode, think about what I want to do. Tigris, I might just go, dude, I might just go play Sandbox. I kind of want to just go, now the more I think about it, I'll do a mission mode save eventually. But you know what I want to do? I want to just pick a goal and then do it. Set the direction of my space program, unlimited budget, just build what you want and then go, That was a beautiful 18th birthday gift of 2021. Pigzig, we'll get back to doing the voting stuff sooner rather than later. EJ has a filter. It's just pretty porous. Hope you're feeling better. Jamin, I'll be all right. But having a real string of bad days. And you know what's weird, dudes? Just we'll jump back into the space news in a moment here. I do have some stuff. I've been having trouble turning the page lately. Like, look at how much Summer Car pissed me off today. Like, I've been having trouble turning the page, and I gotta fix that. That's on me. Like, you're supposed to be kind of stoic. Something bad happens, you acknowledge it happens. You get, you could be upset about it. That's fine. Just move on. I've been having trouble doing that lately. I thought you were doing just career mode first. I'm just kind of brainstorming what I want to do, John. Get into practice at doing things. Yeah, Aqualex, that's really it. If we, don't get me wrong. This isn't a confidence thing. I want to play mission mode. If I played mission mode right now, I would fail. And not in the good content kind of way. Like, I'm just rusty. I gotta get back to doing stuff in Kerbal, Hey, Rocket Guy, what's up? What about your version of NASA 2025 in KSP? It's possible, yeah. In other news, NTP thermal prototype we are working on is currently being ran in CFD at the university supercomputer. Going to take a few days. Yeah. Yeah, X-Wing, there you go. That could work. All good. Just got home. Right on, run, run. Get back to building crazy builds and stuff. Yeah, just doing cool stuff. Like, All right. Anyway. Give me a second. Where the heck is it? Can somebody find me that Photoshop thing? Anyway, here. Some other news real quick. This is coming from Project Kuiper. Project Kuiper is Amazon's commercial internet satellite internet service provider constellation. And they have partnered with JetBlue. JetBlue, powered by Project Kuiper. JetBlue is the first commercial airline to bring Kuiper-powered in-flight connectivity to its planes, transforming the travel experiences for passengers flying JetBlue. Okay. Project Kuiper is Amazon's Starlink competitor, but here's the thing, guys. Project Kuiper it can provide internet, and in this particular case, that's what it's going to do. Project Kuiper is not that. It's not a Starlink competitor directly, all right? It's actually pretty dang interesting if you think about it, right? So Project Kuiper, what it's designed to do is designed to connect all of Amazon Web Services service centers together. It's designed to connect them together, eliminating terrestrial line bottlenecks between Amazon data centers. That's what Kuiper is for. It's a backbone to all of Amazon's web services, or a proverbial backbone. That's what Project Kuiper is designed to do. It also can provide internet, but it's providing connectivity services between Amazon data centers, which is a lot of people use AWS, and if the connectivity you can basically get at your server anywhere in the world from any place, that's actually a pretty smart thing to do. It's pretty smart. Not that you couldn't necessarily do that with Starlink, but SpaceX doesn't own all the web service data centers. Amazon does. I just realized it's trippy seeing you from the left side. What about from over there? Hey, how you doing? It's my setup. It's pretty good. That's what you mean? Would you buy Project Kuiper over Starlink right now? No. Project Kuiper does not offer an antenna service like Starlink does. And that's what I mean about not being a competitor. They kind of are, but they kind of aren't. Like a private ISP for their own services. Yeah. Daybal, when you think about Project Kuiper like that, it's much more than a Starlink competitor. And it's actually pretty smart, pretty astute thing. Removing the terrestrial fiber line bottlenecks. That's pretty smart. And they've partnered with JetBlue, which is great. You know, I usually like JetBlue, and I really did like JetBlue up until the point where they up until the point where my Las Vegas flight got canceled. And then the guy at the counter said they would reimburse me for the time, that extra time that I had to stay in Vegas. And then they didn't. Thanks. Just had to eat that cost, you jack-offs. Really appreciate that one. Keep up the good work. Yeah, Project Kuiper or something. And reduce costs. The fiber interconnects are expensive. Yeah. Here's your first look at Project Kuiper's low-cost customer terminals. Oh. Here, let's see, T-Money. Let's see. I'm sure this is a totally unique design. And totally won't look oh, see, theirs has got four. Theirs has got 4 legs instead of 3, you know? It's off-the-shelf hardware. Why change it? Yeah. Doesn't Jacqueline use Starlink? Yep. The next Project Kuiper launch is Kuiper 3, and it's scheduled at the end of this month on an Atlas 5. It's pretty cool. No, that's Amazon's internet, David. I'm taking a look at the various launch complexes around the world right now. I'm starting to understand your interest in GSE. The machine that launches the machine is one of the coolest parts, Maddie. I love launch pads. Launch pads are sick. Sick. Excellent job on the shoes, B-Dub. Oh yeah. Yeah, I took my break was a little bit longer because I had to help Brimo cut out a template for stickers for her shoes. Don't ask. Don't ask. You don't worry about it. Brimo wanted to put a sticker on her new pair of shoes that she got. So I showed her how to cut it out and make a template for doing that. Don't read too much into it. Also, it seems like it will no longer be the Department of Defense. It's reverting to the Department of War. Cool. Does the sticker have her name on it? I don't think so. Does it? I don't know. Whatever. The chip in the terminal is called Prometheus poison for Project Kuiper? Oh. Don't worry about it, Hellfish. Anyway, let's see what Acting Administrator Secretary Duffelbag is. Let's see what he's on about. Okay.
The Chinese are trying to get there before us. And by the way, Stuart, we come in peace. We're civil. We have a lot of partners. We're open and transparent about what we're doing. The Chinese, not so much. There's no difference. It's a military operation for the Chinese. We can't cede space. We're the leaders in America. We are the explorers. We can't cede this to the Chinese because, again, I don't think they have the same intentions that we have and our international partners have on how we keep space peaceful. They have a different intention, and that's why it's so important that we win. The Chinese are trying to...
You know what, dudes? I want to sit here, and I call him Sean Duffelbag, right? That's the acting administrator of NASA. His name's Sean Duffy. He's a Trump appointee. He's also running these. He's also the Secretary of Transportation, if my math serves me left. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't really hate anything that he said there. Like, you know, China definitely has ambitions, and those ambitions, I think, are more than peaceful. I don't think that's necessarily wrong, per se. Once again, it's like that stupid Senate meeting yesterday. Nothing that anybody said there was particularly incorrect. It's just at this point, okay, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, duffel bag? No, seriously, what's the plan? You know, they keep beating this war drum, right? What's the plan? What's the plan? You know what? Like, okay, that's awesome. What are we doing about this? You know, I don't think that is necessarily his address that he had. Does anybody got a link for that, dude? I've been trying to look for it. I can't really find it. Yeah, Panaman, what are they going to do about this? Yeah, I don't know. Since Duffy's the acting administrator, is he actually able to do stuff? Nah, not really. Plan involves solving a problem. Solving a problem means there's no need to let them do whatever they want. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again, dude. Here, I do have this. Check this out, dudes. So, Acting administrator, here's something that Sean Duffy can do. Acting NASA administrator Duffy selects exploration-focused associate administrator. So that's Amit Kastria. I'm probably not saying his name right. He worked on SLS and Orion, particularly Orion. But here, let's see. Acting Administrator Sean Duffy Wednesday named Amit Kastria as the new, I'm not saying his name right, as the new Associate Administrator at NASA. That's the number 2 in charge of NASA. The agency's top civil service role. 20-year veteran, he was most recently the deputy in charge of the Moon to Mars Program, Exploration Systems Development Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters in Washington. In this role, he was responsible for program planning and implementation for crewed missions to the Moon through the Artemis campaign and preparation for humanity's first mission to Mars. Promoting Amit to NASA's top rank puts America's return to the Moon through Artemis at the very core of our agency. This move exemplifies the president and the acting administrator's seriousness about returning Americans to the Moon before China. There it is again. Amit has spent more than 2 decades as a dedicated public servant at NASA, working to advance American leadership in space. American leadership in space. What is that? What is that? That it's an interesting way to put the last 2 decades at NASA. Under his leadership, the agency will chart a bold vision to return to the Moon during the president's term. Amit's knowledge, integrity, and unwavering commitment to pioneering a new era of exploration make him uniquely qualified to lead our agency as associate administrator. With Amit, we will continue to push the boundaries of what's possible. Kastria's promotion also signals how the president sees the commercial space sector as an American economic engine. Promotion also signals how the Trump administration sees the commercial space sector as an American economic engine. By putting a proven leader at the top, NASA is set to partner even more closely with America's booming space industry, grow the space economy, and ensure the future of exploration is built in the United States. Born in Wisconsin, educated at CIT and the University of Texas, Austin, Amit is one of only about 100 people in history to serve as a mission control flight director. He brings unparalleled operational and strategic experience to NASA's executive leadership team. Actually, yeah, he's, that guy's good. When NASA did a press release about the heat shield with Orion and their findings after the Artemis 1 mission, he was there answering questions in the press conference, and his answers were pretty good. I don't really necessarily agree with putting people on Artemis 2, and he was kind of the one that came up with that from what I understand. But other than that, guy seems pretty smart. Can he rule 8? He doesn't have to. He's the associate administrator. Associate administrator isn't your political intermediary that Sean Duffy is, or who, well, it would have been Jared Isaacman, but I'm not sure I learned anything new in that Senate meeting. It felt almost purely political. Yeah, I don't. My biggest thing with that, James, was, well, Jim Bridenstine saying that the Gateway is the best way to beat China back to the moon. What? What are you talking about? Building a space station is not landing on the moon, dude. Those are 2 different things. Like, and don't get me wrong. I know he doesn't mean it like actually. He said that that's going to unlock better surface exploration. But the whole argument was expediency. The whole argument and the whole purpose of that Senate testimonial yesterday was expediency, getting it done quickly. Building a space station to be able to better explore the moon than China is not doing that. That's not doing that at all. Which is... all right. Okay, hell of a way to look at that, I guess. That's very...
Go at throttle up.
That's a very weird thing to say. And then also in that exact same breath say that SpaceX is going to take too long. Hey, D-Del, 5-month resub. Thank you. That Senate hearing was useless. We would be in the same place if it didn't happen. Yeah, sometimes they're nothing burgers, dude. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're super useful. Jim's Senate testimonial in 2020 was fantastic. And that's what I was kind of hoping. I was kind of hoping we would get a W from watching that yesterday. Nope. That was probably the worst one I've ever watched. And I watch a lot of those. I think the point was that the fastest way forward is to not toss out the plan. But they want to toss out Starship? Brother, there's advocating for better architecture, Aqualex, and then there's denying objective reality. That's the part I don't like. But anyway. We did get a great EJ rant out of it, though. Yeah. Wasn't exploring the lunar surface Viper's job? Well, autonomously. Yeah. It should have been launched by now, but, you know. Sorry I asked. Why are we going to bring that up? It's got some real Micro Scott energy. Everyone said I was never going to graduate high school, but I proved them wrong and went out and scored the most baskets from the 2-point line. Yeah. I agree, Paul. At this point, yeah, I'm pretty sure. They want to throw out the only one consistently moving forward. Yeah, Wisp, that is a very telling thing about where Jim is in terms of individual development. That says a lot about your character saying something like that. Was Viper intended to scout for landing sites? Yes. Mm-hmm. I like what was said yesterday when it was said by Smarter Every Day a year earlier. Yep. Mm-hmm. Did you see that Astrom may stop covering NASA? Sounds like he's losing faith too. Really? I'm not losing. Well, can't see me. Here's the thing. I'll lose. You know, if I lose faith in NASA, I'll still cover it. NASA can always change. You know. But yeah, that's really. That's really where I'm at, dude. Like, nothing that was said yesterday was particular. Well, A, none of it was particularly new information, right? B, none of it was entirely wrong. Most of it was right. What are you going to do about it? They've been doing this for like the past decade. Jim was the only one, ironically, 5 years ago to put a splash into it, put a wrench into the whole thing and actually make change. That's why I like him so much. I just don't really understand, what do you... I don't know, man. It's just, I don't really have much confidence in them to actually follow through with anything that they're saying. And that isn't a slight against the president. That isn't a slight against Sean Duffy. I lost a lot of faith with Bill Nelson and, the previous president as well. I don't believe that anyone here knows how to run a space program, let alone cares. They just keep saying that they do, and then they don't. I don't know, man. Thankfully, we have stuff like SpaceX and the private industry is booming right now. Thank God. This would really suck. I probably would just not cover space news if it was just that all day. Probably just play games. Yeah, I don't understand that either, Sledge, but yeah. It's very strange. Having Jim give SME testimony is crap when he gets paid by ULA, which doesn't make sense given ULA doesn't have a dog in this fight. That's what I mean, Fluffy. I don't know. Rocket Guy, I don't really understand Jim's whole argument. You're going to sit there, you're going to bash Starship, saying it's going to take too long, and then propose Gateway as your solution to that problem? Rocket Guy, he has to know better than that. There's no way. There's no way, dude. Who was the worst NASA administrator and why was it Sean O'Keefe? Sean O'Keefe sucked. He was terrible. Yeah, just Rocket Guy, that just doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, Gateway, that's your ace card for the space race. Gateway. Oh boy. And then the fact that he had the stones to cite Starship as the Starship is not a very expedient way of doing it. Oh, and Gateway, the thing that's like 5 years late, that's a more expedient way of doing things? Like, I don't know. Does Gateway make it harder or easier to build dry docks outside of gravity wells? Gateway could be used for none of that. Gateway is supposed to be basically a deep space research station to help us figure out how to make transfer vehicles to go to Mars. Yeah. Yeah, Tigris, I don't get it. I feel like we've kind of moved beyond gateways, so to speak. Ish, like, dude, I read a lot of what Eric Berger had to say about this, and Eric Berger, dude, and I don't really, like, we see eye to eye on some things. We don't see eye to eye on much, but I'm starting to agree with him, man. I agree with him on this. It's gonna, it very much seems like, it's not that they're ignoring Elon, it's not that they're ignoring SpaceX. It very much seems like they are denying reality and just pretending that SpaceX is not there. It's pretending that they don't exist. And the only times they mention SpaceX is when they have a problem with it, right? Hey, Quentin, $5 super chat. Interesting that Jib was on a ULA podcast and Tony was praising Jim a lot, but not the other NASA administrators. Yeah, I mean, Jim was a great NASA administrator. He was, first and foremost. You know? He also compared Starship timelines to Apollo. Apollo, one of NASA's most successful crowning achievements. I don't understand that one either. You're going to pick the Apollo program to compare the thing that you don't like to. Yeah, you know, this car is really bad, you know. It's really bad. This car sucks, you know. It's like a Ferrari. It's just terrible. Ferrari. Yeah. No, yeah, those are terrible. I mean, they kind of are right now. If you're a Formula One fan, they kind of are. But you get what I'm trying to say. I mean, if it's a Formula One car, he might have a point. No, but I'm talking about, like, let's talk about like a Ferrari 550 Maranello. 550 Maranello. That's a nice car. The car from Bad Boys 2. Actually, Bad Boys 2 could have been a 575. Oh, the old Ferrari, the nice Ferraris, right? That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's like, oh man, this Lamborghini is comparable to a 575 M Ferrari. Ah, what a piece of junk. It's like, what? You're, all right. Ferrari's not terrible, it's the people running the program. Yeah, Ferrari's suffering very much from the same kind of stuff that NASA is, but it's for different reasons. You also convinced, yeah, okay, I already got that. This car's crap. Well, the car is an early 2000s Camry. Yeah, exactly, man. I just don't get it. Well, for me as a European, Gateway's a waste of money for you right now. It should have been launched years ago, and the only hardware build I've seen so far was the carcass of an Italian module in a video earlier this year. Correct, Bodojo. Yeah. You know, and then they made the... The other thing, I stewed on this last night even after 13 hours of streaming. I was thinking about it. they were saying like, oh, you know, if we don't go back to the moon and China does, our international partners will want to work with China. China isn't working with international partners in their space program, and people are still going to them. They admitted that by themselves. Like 13 people have signed a memorandum of 13 countries have signed a memorandum of understanding to work with China on their lunar station. So it's pretty clear that if you want to do it yourself, people will still come as long as you do it, which is interesting that they said like, oh, well, if we don't do it, international partners won't work with us. Well, arguably China basically proved that one wrong. Did NSF paywall their live streams? I hope not, Admiral. I don't think so. I2 says it better than me here. All right, Rocket, let me see. Sorry, there's a lot of talk. I really don't see his stuff as being against SpaceX, but now trying to advocate for things that are on the chopping block, like Gateway. There's a definitive off-ramp already determined and fleshed out without... Is there a definitive off-ramp that's already determined and fleshed out without Gateway involved? That could seriously affect timeline without lots of rework. Let me think. You could just have Orion just sit in rectilinear halo. And yeah, I mean, but then again, yeah, they're going to be down there for a long duration stay, people at the moon. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I see what he's trying to say, but yeah, Rocket Guy, I can understand that. Now, here's my question back. All right. Yeah, keep running the course. Keep running the course. Look, man, I'm not trying to be one of those Starship fanboys, okay? But also at the same time, you would be out of your mind to deny the industrial power and the industrial base that SpaceX has set up for Starship development. They are moving at a very rapid pace, faster than anyone. They're developing the most complicated vehicle in the world. And the advancement is crazy because of the iteration. You know this, we've talked about this, right? I don't mind Gateway, but to be 100% honest and to be quite candid, the best time for Gateway to be up in space was 5 years ago when it was supposed to be up there. That would be great for right now. You know, Artemis 1, Artemis 2, Artemis 2, Artemis 3, Gateway is a great place to kind of get your feet wet for going to the moon, but it's still not there. And it doesn't, dude, there's no signs of that thing being completed, even on a relatively soon basis. You can't say that overcomplicated architectures are what's going to keep us from beating China back to the moon, and then simultaneously cite Gateway as your solution to that problem. Gateway's architecture is a fragmented piece of garbage, and you know it. It's terrible. There were modules that were supposed to be on SLS, right? And they started making them, and then they stopped making them, and then we decided we wanted to save money because the SLS program was managed by morons, right? Seriously, they forgot to... I mean, that was more for Europa Clipper, but I digress. I mean, it's the same people. Freaking Europa Clipper was supposed to launch on SLS, and they budgeted to launch on SLS, and then realized that they didn't allocate a freaking launch vehicle for it, which is why it ended up flying on Falcon Heavy, right? Gateway's the same way. Gateway's going to end up flying on Falcon Heavy. And the two modules that were supposed to be on separate launches are now on one, the Halo and the PPE. So they needed to be redesigned because they were two modules that were designed to dock to each other, and now they don't need to dock to each other. So you're going backwards in the design, you're undoing stuff, and you're redoing stuff, and you're hot rodding two modules together to make one vehicle, and then using a Falcon Heavy to send it. You're redesigning the launch. You change the launch vehicle for it. You change the design requirements for it halfway through development. Dude, what a cluster frick. That's terrible. Dude, Rocket Guy, by the time that's all said and done, dude, Starship will be human rated and ready to go. Like, Gateway's gonna be, even if Gateway works and we get it done on a relatively expedient basis, like by the end of the decade, right? If Gateway is operational and we want to beat that, we want to beat Chinese to Mars by the end of the decade, that means Starship is operational too. In which case, why the hell does Gateway exist? Just send a Starship out to rectilinear halo with a bunch of docking ports and have Orion dock to that. Chopping away Gateway now puts us further behind. We committed to a slow car. How hard would it be to move Gateway back to SLS? Not happening at this point. We can certainly off-ramp from Gateway, but at this point there needs to be a hard commitment and money behind it, which history tells wouldn't happen. SpaceX is showing NASA and ULA how space program is supposed to be, and they're all upset about it. Yeah, I mean, Shogun, it's usually not that simple, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that that's not what's going on. I think we're reading into the hearing from our technical background of years of following this. Politics and politicians are not, and you have to spell it out for them using words and concepts they can understand. Yeah. Is Gateway designed for long-term habitation? Yes, it is. Hey, Todd Harris. Welcome to the Flight Controllers. Thank you for that membership, dude. I appreciate it. YouTube stream's going off over there. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the discussions here. This is instead. If you watched the Senate thing yesterday, I usually don't get that far into politics. I really like to discuss technical details of architectures. That's my favorite. It comes from playing too much Kerbal, and I have done that. This is all why I've suggested an actual advocacy campaign from this community. We all get so frustrated, angry, and ultimately... Yeah, Elfish, but why do I feel like even if with all the effort that we went through to do something like that would be, I think, screaming at a wall, at a brick wall would be more advantageous. There's no such thing as too much KSP. Yeah. I was in and out last night, but was there actually bashing of SpaceX and Starship? Jim said that Starship is a good example about how NASA is investing in game-changing technologies, right? But those technologies are not expedient pertaining. They're not good pertaining to beating China back to the moon. The whole purpose of that meeting yesterday was to beat China back to the moon and talk about ways to do it. An anonymous gifter gifted Snake a sub. Right on. Thank you. In the 3 years I've been watching you, that was the first time I've ever seen you dive that heavy into the political side of the whole thing. I've done it. I do it when it needs to be said, Nick Mac. Yeah, I covered Senate, Congressional, the Commerce, Justice, and Science Committee. Anytime they convene, I usually watch it. I usually watch it on stream. Yeah, I've been trying to not do it as much, but yeah. Rocket God, the other thing that Jim cited is the need for more spaceports. And dude, I don't understand this one. This one doesn't make any sense to me. The other thing he said was that there's going to be a time where everyone's going to eventually get to a sub 2-day launch cadence, which I don't believe is true. That's not happening for a long time, in my opinion. Took SpaceX a decade to scale to that. Nobody else is even close to launching 2 or 3 times a week. Nobody's even close to even comparable to Falcon 9 on that cadence. The only one that's even remotely comparable is Electron, which doesn't launch from the Cape. Jim went on about how in the future, the expanding spaceflight industry is going to have a problem where one rocket will hog all the range time, right? And once again, he cited Starship. He goes, well, if Starship achieves all the goals that SpaceX wants it to do, we're going to have no place to launch. There's going to be no time to launch. It's just going to be all Starships all the time. So, dude, he advocated for inland spaceports and used the Kansas Cosmosphere as what's the name of the Cosmosphere in Tulsa? In Oklahoma. I mean, that's his home state, but Inland spaceports? Rocky Guy, I just find it very, very strange that he would cite the only company that's actually gone and built another spaceport as the reason for needing more spaceports. That's weird. Yeah, Edmana, I didn't... Dude, don't get me wrong. That would be great to get to a point where we could do inland spaceports. But Jim said, well, we got a problem with doing inland spaceports. The problem with doing inland spaceports is that stages would fall down in the next state over. And I'm like, you want to launch expendable rockets from inland spaceports? What happened to you? Like if you know what, guys? I'd be totally confident with Falcon 9 launching from freaking Topeka, Kansas. I'd be fine with that. And doing an RTLS, it would make it back. It'd be just fine. It's not gonna fall on anybody. You'd be fine. You know? That'd be fine, dude. I would have no problem with that. I mean, there's nothing out there. I mean, Kansas is a lot of farmland. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure some farmer would be pissed if a first stage landed in his crop field and burnt everything to the ground. I'm pretty sure he'd be a little mad. But also at the same time, Falcon 9 ain't doing that. Falcon 9 will go right where they tell it to. RTLS downrange and then truck it back. There you go. Again, is that a negative? Is that actually... It is actually a valid concern that the DoD is actively working on as well. Just trying to understand the negative. Or is it just the inland part? Okay, so... How I understand this, dude, is in the context of the conversation, the context of that congressional meeting yesterday, right? The context of that congressional meeting yesterday was being expedient to get back to the moon, right? That's the whole point. Beat China back to the moon. That was the context of this conversation. Jim might not be wrong about wanting more spaceports, and might not be wrong about one launch provider taking up a lot of range time. That's an astute thing to say. That's right. What I don't understand is in this specific context, that makes no sense. Because that means Starship works. And if his whole premise was that we need more spaceports because Starship works and that will help us get back to the moon quicker. No, more spaceports will not help you do that. Now, he may have been arguing that just as a general point of fact, in which case, why are you doing that in a congressional testimony about going back to the moon before China? I'd be very interested to hear if that was a generalized statement, because in general, he's not wrong. But in the context of going back to the moon, building spaceports is not your solution here. That's not your solution at all. Last, what's up, Dino? My guess is that he's more worried that with KSC needing to shut down every time someone fuels up a vehicle. Well, that's a range problem then, dude. Of course, that could change with making rockets safer, but clearly we're seeing that technology can update way before the regulations do. I guess. Yeah, X-Wing, I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense. The meeting yesterday was what we call a waste of time and freaking money. A WAFTAM. Yeah. We have lots of islands and lots of coast. Inland is unneeded. St. Croix, USVI, Puerto Rico, San Clemente Island, California, if they needed another one on the West Coast. Yeah, I don't get it, man. It doesn't. I mean, he's not wrong to say that in the future we're going to need to think about, you know, range time a little bit differently. You might need a space traffic controller, like you need an ATC for the spaceport instead of like a range. Does that make sense? But yeah, dude, it's just, I didn't really understand what, I thought in the context of getting to the moon more expediently, more spaceports is like saying I can make my car go faster if I give it more tires. What? No. No. Do you understand what tires are doing in the application of an automobile? No, I'm not talking a bigger contact patch tire, Hellfish. I'm not talking about a bigger tire. I'm talking about the Tyrrell P34. Can you tell me what I missed, please? I just got back from an HOA meeting. Oh, here, yeah, Clayton, I'll sum it up for you in less than a second. I'll condense the entire, 3 hours of stream. Here, there you go. Did you get all of it? It was a good recap. I did it real quick, though. Yeah, Odin, that's a good point. If safety stand-downs impact areas where lunar-related vehicle integration is going on, they'd have to stop, therefore slowing down the program. Once again, that's a range problem. That's not. And even then, these are not problems that are happening in the next 5 years. I can say that with pretty damn high confidence. Yeah, it's just weird, man. I'm trying to make sense of it, and I'm trying to rubber band you guys, or rubber duck you guys, like, on it. I don't know, man. The more and more I think about it, it's just. Anyway, I do have some more news here from PLD. Here, check this out. Mura 5 interstage, the carbon composite part of the first stage attaching the second stage and protecting the second stage engine, being prepared for structural testing. PLD Space is a Spanish commercial launch provider, and they're working on their Mura 5 rocket. That's the carbon composite interstage. Pretty cool. So the second stage would be up here, first stage tank would be right here, and the second stage engine would be riding in this hollow area. PLD's making some pretty good moves, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, rarest. I don't know, man. But then again, guys, the flip side of this is that, we can't get all pissy every time somebody says something critical of SpaceX. But once again, I usually don't do that. But in the context of expediency here, Gateway, you can't say, we got to run the course with Gateway because that's the quickest way to the surface. Okay, that's fair. I think that's a fair thing to say, right? And then in that exact same breath say that the lander that's supposed to attach to Gateway to return humans to the moon, for the Artemis 3 mission before China, well, that's going to take too long. That part's going to take too long. I guess I just don't understand drawing the line and saying Gateway is kosher and Starship is not. Like, I guess that's what doesn't make sense to me. If you want to make the argument that Gateway is useful, and Gateway is the quickest way to get there, and running the course is the right way to go, but then in that exact same breath say that Starship is not one of those ways, you can't say that Gateway is going to be quicker than Starship. It's not. Like, Starway, sure. I don't know. That's just something I've been noodling on in my head. Like, I don't know what the heck you guys are on about, man. Okay. We got a video from Rocket Factory Augsburg here. Check this out. Redshift vibration testing. I'm going to turn it down here in case there's music. Hey! COPV. Cool.
This is the most important test of the whole stage 3.
We are starting now.
Okay. Well,
No, hype music. And it looks like they're third stage vibration testing. Munich, earlier that day. The last stage of the whole launch vehicle. Oh yeah, this is a very clear shot. Last one to be decoupled from the vehicle. That means it has to withstand the whole flight and ascent of the vehicle, and we're going to test it on 3 axes. We've done previously a whole campaign of tests, individual parts, individual systems. Right now, what we're here for is to test all the systems together in a flight situation. Okay. Okay, ready. Nice. Dude, that shirt, the patch on the shirt was awesome. All right, shake this thing. Let's see what we got. Oops, something came off. Incomprehensible monologue. By the way, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. So they're shaking their third stage to do vibration testing. I definitely saw something come off there. I don't know if that was part of the stand or what. Cool. Let's see, I want to see that thing shake again. See that? That's mass reduction. Well, it's part of a staged vehicle, so mass reduction is key. Spare parts, extra parts. Yeah, you should always have some extra parts when you're some extra bolts and nuts when you're done building it. So yeah, cool. Anyway, yeah, RFA has been trying to make they've been trying to make a comeback. They had a launch or first stage on their test stand, also launch pad. They were using their launch pad as a test stand, and they were doing basically a static fire of it, and they ended up having a fire in their liquid oxygen impeller on their engines, and the fire spread through the vehicle, and the only systems to put it out was the fire suppression, and the pad actually ran out of water, and the vehicle burnt to the ground. Ever since then, they've been, retesting everything to get ready for a second attempt. That's where the 10 millimeter went? No, the 10 mil's right here. Get the 10. It's right there. I got it. Don't worry about that. Cool. Do that on a subsystem level. Dynamics testing is black magic. Oh, for sure. I'm looking for more space news. Once again, the cycle is a little bit slow. I do believe we did have a Falcon 9 launch. It was yesterday. Okay, cool. There is another Falcon 9 launch here. Let's look at outgoing missions. Here. Did you see the Firefly news I sent you? I should have it, dude. Where? Okay. Cool. I have it now. Thank you. So there's March, and then so tomorrow, guys, for this one, Starlink 1057. I'm covering that with NSF tomorrow. They needed a commentator. So if you guys want to get up early with me tomorrow, I'm gonna be covering that over on NSF. It will be restreamed here on Twitch as well. Ratio of 10mm owned versus number that you can find. So Todd, I have inventory on all my 10mm sockets. I do not lose 10mm sockets. I do not lose tools. I put all of my tools back when I'm done with a job. Now, to be a little bit more descriptive, when I'm working on a car, I take all my tools when I'm done working on a car and we need to clean up. I take all the tools and I put them in a pile. Okay? All the tools that I was working on, I just put them on a table, put them in a pile of tools. And then I'll take that pile back over to the toolbox and put the tools back where they need to go. That way, everything finds its way back home, and it takes probably an extra 5 minutes of your time, but you never lose sockets, ever. You clean them. If they're dry, fluffy, I coat them with WD-40. I don't want my tools to rust. At 4:30 a.m. live, you think I'm a masochist? I mean, you watch me, so. What time GMT tomorrow, please? I don't know. At noontime? What? I hate doing time zone conversions. Eastern time zone. We're GMT -5. So if it launches at 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. So right afternoon time for people in GMT. That stung almost like him. Hey, Wolfgang. Thanks for that Prime sub, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're at GMT -4 right now. This is why I don't do this. Yeah, it is -4. So it's 11:30 Quartz. It'd be 11:30 a.m. for you because we're -4 right now because time zones, and this is why I don't do this. Please, yeah. All right. So, yeah, I will be doing that for NSF tomorrow. See why you go to the site that converts it for you. Yeah. All right. So check this out. This tweet is coming from an X account we usually don't get space news info from. But here, check this out. On August 6th, Firefly Aerospace successfully priced its $1 billion initial public offering, representing the largest ever space and defense technology IPO. Goldman Sachs served as the lead left book runner. Cool. I don't know, Maddie, maybe. Let's talk about the bays at Starbase. I think once the Gigabay is done, one will be for payload processing and another for refurbishment. It's possible, yeah. Firefly did go public, yes. Fellas, I'll be honest, my stomach is telling me something, and it's telling me that I need to use the bathroom. So, Todd, I will talk more about Starship. We'll do some Starship talk on the other side of this battle that I'm about to fight. I will be back in a moment. Let me put the music on. Be right back a sec. Nature calls. Hold on, Kyle. I believe in you. Oh. Oh. That was a heartfelt battle. Was it a rot? Oh, here it comes. Oh my goodness. That I'm pretty sure that was a consequence of not sleeping last night. Oh. Oh. We had blow by there. Anyway, okay. I'm good. Was it the cuttlefish and asparagus of the vanilla paste? No, we're good. We're good. We're good. I pooped. Everybody poops. All right. So, on August 6th, Firefly Aerospace successfully priced its $1 billion IPO, representing the largest ever space and defense technology IPO. $1 billion. This post does not constitute an offer to sell securities of the company referenced and should not be construed as consisting of investment advice. Cool. Well, that's good. I'm glad that, guys, like, here's the thing. From the commercial point of view, that's $1 billion more into commercial spaceflight. That's really good. That's great for Firefly. And that's great for the commercial industry. Companies like Firefly and what like Rocket Lab is doing, building themselves as like offering, basically selling their stuff wholesale, right? Like, Firefly sells their engines. They sold engines to Astra. Firefly sold engines stages to Northrop Grumman for their MLV, right? They sell, Rocket Lab sells like control moment gyros. They sell avionics packages, they sell batteries, they sell satellites, wholesale. Like, that kind of stuff is making it easier to like launch your own satellite into space, where you just basically use Rocket Labs and put your stuff on it, right? That makes getting into orbit easier. That makes the dollars per kilogram to space, it brings it down. And this is without even like, any of these companies going into like doing reusable launch vehicles. Part of the reason why Firefly was so dang successful with their Blue Ghost mission is that they were using components that were basically flight tested on Electron. They're using a lot of Rocket Lab components on the Blue Ghost lander. Because they work. It's off the shelf at that point. Can we do an EJ Chat funded nanosat just to say we have a satellite in orbit? I mean, yeah, Hellfish Andril does that. Would certainly be fun. Yeah, Rocket Guy. Maybe we should do that. Let you take the lead on that? We will talk more about this later. You know what I mean? Like later. Rocket Guy, you should probably show up. Not that you haven't, but you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, we might want to all talk. We might want to all get together and talk later about this. Yeah, you guys picking up what I'm laying down, Pradong and Rocket Guy? You picking up what I'm laying down? I know what you mean. All right, all right. Perhaps the release of a thing that could be streamed from a nanosat. Yeah, yeah. You know, I like this conversation. I like where this is going. All right, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other space news around. I don't. Booster 15 might roll out tonight if you have your dates correct. Yeah, well, let's talk about Starship then. Does this sound good? Okay, so this picture is from RGV, and RGV took this of Massey. So this was where Ship 36 blew up, specifically like right there. Let's zoom in and see what is out and about here. It's called space for a reason. Yeah. Are you going to jump on Stationeers tonight? I think we should. So that's a cryo testing stand. Right there. And this is the part that really got screwed up the most. They are making some pretty damn good progress. Wow. Random thought, did you ever find the bucket truck you needed for your project? What do you mean, Rarest? Yeah, goalie, yeah, no, it's not a bad idea. When are you going to do KSA? I don't know. I'll play KSA tomorrow. Play it tomorrow before Flame Trench. I remember back in the spring you were looking at work bucket trucks. Yeah, I took care of that. Don't worry about it. I ended up not buying one. I think there will static fire Ship 39 out there on that stand by November. Yeah, probably. What about the motorhome? The motorhome leaks, Pontiff. I don't want that. The reason why I don't want that is because if I didn't have any other projects to work on right now, and I could give the motorhome like 100% of my attention, we could just fix all the leaks right away. Just fix everything, no problem. The problem with that is, well, I'm kind of neck deep in another thing right now, and that means the motorhome would sit, and that means it would leak more, and that means it would break more. I don't want that. So, yeah, not gonna do it. I haven't been able to get a hold of Dean for that, sadly. Oh, okay. But yeah, there we go. There's this part of Massey's over here where they do cryo testing did not get very that didn't get very messed up. It was really more this area over here. You can see that they have dedicated lines for all their fuel lines, which were sitting above ground. They're now all below ground. They're putting them in this this concrete maze thing right here. Can Crusher Cap's a lot of activity. Yeah, this thing over here is where they do dynamic testing. It's basically a gigantic press that crushes Starship prototypes, which is pretty cool. That's the cryo testing stand right there. Yeah, pretty good. Guys, the thing is, if we go and mess with KSA tomorrow, it's not going to constitute 4 to 5 hours of gameplay. There's just not enough game there. ARJ, that's really the reason why I haven't played it. Like, dude, it's so basic right now. It's such a basic game right now. It's so hard into the pre-alpha. There's really not much to show, you know? So that's why I've been avoiding playing KSA. I want to show KSA to you guys when it's a little bit more feature complete. You know, not that that's going to, that's going to take a while. To the right of the big structure with the booster test tank inside. It's something to make a 15-minute video on, not to stream. Yeah, that's why I really, like, you can play it, but it's not going to be much. I don't know, man. It's just not really good for long format content. ARJ, can I take that back? I don't really want to play it tomorrow. I want to play KSA when there's something more to show, if that makes any sense. But if you guys want to see it, and if you guys want to see me play it, and you can see me play it, but I'd rather do something else tomorrow. They're going to replace the stand, aren't they? Seems a bit rusted. This one right here? No, they're refurbishing that thing. Yeah. Did you find a welding spoon, Sputnik? Yeah, I have a brass hammer that, I got a brass hammer that I use as the welding spoon. Yes. Do what you think is best. Yeah, I don't want to play KSA tomorrow, guys. I'm going to be truthful with you. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that. There's just not enough. There's not enough to... I'd say cities tomorrow before Flame Trench is something we could do. What do you guys want to play? Do you guys want to play Cities 1 or Cities 2? This is for tomorrow. I want to play Stationeers tonight. That actually reminds me. Everyone, if you have Stationeers, jump in with me when we go to play tonight. Because we've done Cities 2 on this, yeah. You still play Workers from time to time. Cities 1, Cities 1, Cities 1, Cities 1. Didn't you say 2 is terrible? Yeah, yeah. But I can run my gigantic city that takes up a gigantic part of the map on this computer with no frame rate lag. So I kind of want to go mess with it, but it's okay. Note, I just started a new city in Cities 1, so I think we'll do that tomorrow. Cities 1's a little more feature complete, so yeah, we can do that tomorrow. That's fine. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Once again, space flight news, with the exception of that politics nonsense, has been a little bit dry lately. But we are getting Starlinks all the time, and I will be covering the Starlink 10-57 mission tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Me and Adrian will be commentating on that. What do we need to play Stationeers? The game? You just need the game, and you just need to switch it to the beta build in Steam options. But yeah, this was a kind of short space news, but yeah, 2 hours will suffice. I claimed ad time right before you left for the bathroom. I ran ads. You need patience. You need patience. You are not patient enough. Isn't the stream starting at like 6:30 tomorrow? The NSF stream should start. Please wait. Wait. You know what? I'm going to message Adrian. Give me 1 second. About the start time, because it moved. I shot him a message. We'll see what he says. Thanks again for the company. I finished digging this hole, so I'm going to get to finishing the job. See you tomorrow for Flame Trench. All right, Cody. See you, buddy. How does one access your Discord? Click on that link that all systems agreed. Oh, and I would be fun. We'd get to see you build out an environmental control system in IRSOU on the fly. Sorry, I came late to the conversation, but I've been having a blast on Factorio recently. All right, Hype. Yeah. Factorio is fun. Yep. Okay, yeah, the NSF coverage stream will go live. The launch is scheduled to go at 7:30. Adrian got back to me. Yeah, that stream's going to start at 6:30. Nice. All right. Yeah, let's play some Stationeers. let's play some Stationeers. Yeah. Adrian's always awake, Black Eagle. I actually have no idea when that guy actually sleeps. Yeah, David, I just asked Adrian. He said we're going to go live about an hour before liftoff, so that's 6:30 Eastern. What's on the agenda and how can I make myself helpful? I don't know. I'm just going to blank the stream just for a second. We'll go to the title stream, and that's going to do it for the Space and Rocket Review. Sorry I spent a good deal of amount of that as Space and Rocket Review pooping. My bad. Tommy. Imagine sleeping. Yeah, I know. Early bedtime is always an option. Recharge yourself. I'm booked till basically midnight tonight, so I'm not going to get a lot of sleep. it is what it is. I'll probably do the NSF coverage and then get some more shut-eye and then start up the stream over here. All right, so I'm going to jog the VOD over on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed the Space and Rocket review. Once again, it's dry right now. There's not a lot to talk about, which sucks. Usually I talk about what NASA's plans are, and, you know, we don't have basically a year dry spell on space news because we have a NASA administrator that's doing NASA administrator things. But that's not a thing right now. So yeah, I will, yeah, I'll jog the VOD and then we'll play Stationeers. Remember, we got Stationeers up to 64 players on the server. If you have Stationeers, come play with us. Just to stress test the server. I want to see, I'm trying to break it because RocketWorks kind of inadvertently asked to in the last KSA town hall. They're like, you should play Stationeers and you should, you know, you should put that game to the test. I'm like, all right, I'll break it. Oh, hey, Hype Mayor, how you doing? I'll be back in a second. I'll see you guys then.